Welcome to the Wokest Warren, where we have the Wokest Discourse. Today, I am going to talk about why you should avoid participating in elections. Okay, so first of all, I am going to say I'm not saying you shouldn't vote. Voting is not a big deal. Once you listen to my reasons why I don't think you should participate in elections, you'll understand why I say I'm not talking about voting. Mostly, I'm talking about the amount of time that elections will take up in your life. Like hours and hours and hours and hours of time. Just don't do it. I don't regret the elections that I did campaign for, that I did volunteer on. I learned a lot. I got a lot of skills along the way. It is a way you can get skills. It's a way that you can get out of the house, meet new people. But when you look at the money and the time that is spent on the dog and pony show, which is American elections, it makes me sad. Like, think of all of the things that you could be doing other than trying to get someone elected. You could learn a musical instrument. You could learn a new language. I mean, you could do anything you want. You could sit there and pick your nose. It's just like, why would you, when you look at your life as I have this amount of time, this amount of hours, what do I want to spend those hours doing? If you believe in elections, if you believe that they're democratic elections and you love democracy, it makes sense that you would say, hell yeah, I want to spend my time doing that. That's something that I care about. And I can relate to that because I have felt that way myself. What I'm going to tell you is that it's an illusion, this democracy. Like, it's not fair. These are not fair elections. And do I mean to say that I think that, dudes are like hacking voting machines? No. I mean, somebody somewhere is hacking a voting machine, but it probably doesn't significantly affect big elections. It's like your shit is so gerrymandered, first of all. First of all, where we live, totally gerrymandered. Like, I do not have a choice. I am going to be represented by a Republican. Period. That's why I have been pulling a Republican ballot when I go to vote in the primary. Because that's the election. This Republican or that Republican. Those are your choices. And that's what I'm saying that all elections are like. You're choosing between two candidates, if you're lucky, 3 or 4, all of whom are nefarious actors. And there might be one that you're like, this person's a good person. But you know what? If you get them elected, it's not going to change the system. And I want you to think about this in terms of what impact you think it's going to make on the world if your candidate gets elected. Like, you're putting all this like blood, sweat, and tears into this campaign to get your candidate elected. What do you think that candidate is going to be able to accomplish? Or what do you think that character will choose to accomplish? Right? Because you could look at somebody like AOC and be like, she could have done a lot. She could still be doing a lot. There's a lot that she could do that she's not doing because she doesn't want to. So even if your candidate gets elected, are they going to actually want to follow through on their campaign promises? You know, when I supported Bernie Sanders, I had faith that he could get Medicare for All enacted because Medicare for All is extremely popular. Now, do I think that a candidate running for president on a Medicare for All platform could get Medicare for All? No. I think they might get elected president, but they won't be able to get Medicare for All through. Not yet. Not until a lot more people die. I think eventually we might get universal health care, but a lot of people are going to die first. So go vote, right? Because the difference between this candidate and that candidate could mean, like, it could be harm reduction. It could be harm reduction. You could be like, well, maybe 50,000 fewer people will die. But honestly, when you look at, like, the Democratic Party and that track record of Democratic leaders, that is not the case. You know, look at how many people Obama deported. Look at how many people Obama murdered with drones. Okay? Like, I believed in Obama a little bit. I thought he would do domestic stuff. I knew he would kill people. The reasons I did not vote for Obama for president the first time around is because he did not say he would end the war, and he supported the Keystone Pipeline. So I did not vote for him. But in the primary, I voted for him only because my children asked me to. And I was just going to leave it blank. So I have to admit, I did vote for Obama once. Yeah. But what a letdown. Like I said, I didn't believe that he'd end the war. I knew he supported Keystone Pipeline. For some reason, I thought that he would be more for redistribution of the wealth. At least some fucking social safety net, you know? But he just gave everything to the banks. Just gave it all away. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, who's the best candidate that you think that you could get? Imagine this person's qualities. Now, imagine that person actually in the Senate, what they can accomplish. Because they need, like, at least 6 other senators to even start to do anything. Right? So that means if you have a bunch of fuckheads, if you have your one good dude, and then you have a bunch of fuckheads in the Senate, your one dude is not going to be able to do shit. We know that the rich people select who the politicians are going to be. You might have a free and fair election where you get to choose between a Republican and a Democrat. The Democratic Party decides who the Democratic candidate is going to be, and the Republican Party decides who the Republican candidate is going to be. Do you think either of those parties are going to choose a candidate that the donors don't like? Like, if you're the Democratic Party and you have to field a candidate for office, do you choose someone that the richest people in the country do not like and do not want? Of course not. Of course not. I mean, you're not stupid. You're not stupid. You know this. This is not like you're hearing this for the first time. So you can go and vote because it is a form of harm reduction. But I'm saying like max an hour put into it. Like, do not go and stand and wait in line to vote. Don't inconvenience yourself to vote. Don't get a babysitter so you can vote. Like, vote if it's convenient. Because it can do some slight harm reduction. But you can't know that it's going to do harm reduction. And in fact, you could choose wrong and actually choose the worst person. Right? So it's pointless. So yeah, I would say, you know, it's a ritual, it's an activity. You see your neighbors when you go vote. So it's better than playing the lottery. It's better for you than playing the lottery. Or betting on sports. So yeah, it's sports. It's like sports. Politics is like sports. But in terms of like, you know, getting together with like your comrades and being like, we're going to put our all into electing this guy for the Senate. Like, no, that's a waste of time. That's a dumb waste of time. Don't do that. Like, don't legitimize this fucking bullshit system. Thanks for listening.